Welcome to Thunder Live on FanDuel Sports Network, presented by Toyota. Let's go places. What a game we had here in downtown Oklahoma City. The Thunder and the Hawks on the second night of a back-to-back, and the Thunder handily took care of business. 140-129 was your final score, and the Thunder got it done in the second half thanks to some breakaway dunks like this, some big-time shots from Shai, and some two-in effort that led to some highlight-worthy plays. Oklahoma City now with 24 consecutive wins against the Eastern Conference and improve to 6-0 versus the East here this season. As we welcome you back inside of Paycom Center and into Thunder Live, I'm Paris Lawson alongside the Thunder's very own Royce Young. And Royce, you and I were talking before. This game was a little interesting to the tune of the Thunder were down going into halftime. The Atlanta Hawks made 14 threes in the first half of this game, and it was really confusing to figure out how the Thunder was going to get back into this.
Yeah, compared to 3 threes in the first half for the Thunder. I mean, you look at it, a minus 11, minus 33 there from the Thunder from the 3-point line, and that's a big variance right there. But man, this was a fun game, and it was credit to the Hawks. They came back and hit a number of shots. Those moments where you felt like the Thunder tidal wave was building, especially early third quarter, late third quarter, the Hawks did a great job of hitting a timely shot when they really needed it to kind of hang in the game. They finished with 25 threes in this game, and we talk sometimes, Paris, about the volatility of shooting. I mean, this game is as good as an example of it as you can get. Some of them were just wild shots. Nickeil Alexander-Walker hit one of the greatest threes I've ever seen. A lefty running half-court shot. Vit Krejci banks in a three. There was another one to beat the buzzer. There was a lot of tough threes that the Hawks made throughout this one, but the Thunder did a great job at just kind of staying with it throughout that fourth quarter, getting good looks down the stretch, hit some big shots themselves. And how about Alex Caruso in this one? And, you know, you talk about this guy and the career that he's had and the veteran leadership. That guy's a winner. He makes winning plays, and no matter what's happened in the past, you can always put your cards on the table for that guy and count on him.
Big minutes from Alex Caruso, especially in the second half of this game. We'll talk a little bit more about him a little bit later in the show. But for now, we want to talk to Chris Fisher and Michael Cage, who are the voices on tonight's very interesting and fun ball game. Guys, what'd you see?
Yeah, thank you, Paris. It was interesting because you talked to Cam Woods at halftime, and he was saying that basically this game was being played on the terms of the Atlanta Hawks in the first 24 minutes. And that kind of continued, Michael, throughout the second half with the exception of a couple of minutes there in the third quarter. It was a high-scoring affair. It was up and down. You had all those three-point shots. The Atlanta Hawks had 13 more threes than OKC in the game. That's usually not a good recipe for you, but the Thunder still wins the game by double digits.
Can we exhale now? Man, give everybody some Gatorade, water, whatever. It was just an up-and-down shootout. I thought the Thunder did a good job in that third quarter with those 43 points. They scored 30 points in the first first 6 minutes and 15 seconds. 30 points. That kind of changed the whole surface of the game because they had the Hawks chasing them. Now the Hawks made some tough threes. I agree with Paris and Royce were talking about. You know, they were the one-handed half-court shot by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Come on, man. You know, and then Krejci banking it in. There were a lot of stuff, but it wasn't sustainable because the Thunder once again got to what they did last night with those 72 points in the paint against the 76ers. They had 70 again tonight. That's another massive number to offset what the Hawks were doing from the three-point range, and I like the shooting percentage. That was solid as well. Thunder shot 58% last night. They shot 54%. So they were just on a nice little, even 4 quarters where they just kept, chewing away at things and got it, the defense down the stretch. I thought that was a big key. And they've already mentioned Cason Wallace and, of course, Alex Caruso. Man, he made a big, big steal there at the end.
Sometimes you're going to play some wild games, and you can certainly file this one into the category of wild. But credit to OKC for kind of playing through some of those crazy shots that the Atlanta Hawks made throughout the course of this game.
Yeah, got to be able to win in a multitude of ways. Chris Fisher and the Thunder did that just today in this matchup against the Hawks. Chris and Mike, thank you so much as always. We appreciate it. And I love that Chris brought up my interview with Cam Woods at halftime because it was interesting. He said, the Atlanta Hawks, they want the score to be 140 by the end of it. Well, the Thunder actually ended up scoring 140 in this game. A whole lot of offense, which means we got a whole lot of highlight that we need to run. So let's roll the tape, take it from the top, and see how this game unfolded. We talk about offense. It got going from the very outset. It was a shootout between these two teams. to start this game.
I mean, we talked about it in the pregame show, Paris, and you mentioned that the Hawks play fast and they want to really pick up the pace in this one. And it seems like one of the things about the Thunder is that they're kind of willing to play anybody's style while also maintaining their own identity. And the Thunder are so adaptable in any kind of stylistic change in the game. And that's what we see here. A lot of like freelance, fast breaking type of action here. This is just kind of a semi-transition dub drive and kick right there. Casey Wallace had a big time game tonight. 17 points in this one. Hits a number of big shots. But again, the Hawks, they're playing fast too. They're in the open floor. They want to fast break you as much as possible. That's one of the best ways to kind of counteract the Thunder's great defense is to play with tempo.
Yeah, a lot of the Hawks offense is very early on in the shot clock, especially to start this game. How about this move here from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander through contact, knocking down, throwing it through the hoop. Incredible stuff.
I love how Shai just kind of sometimes sneaks them in on you there, those dunks like that. But, just the Thunder just had to keep playing throughout this first quarter because the Hawks, they hit a bunch of shots that, could feel kind of deflating. Okonwu, he's been a guy that's on a heater from three lately. He's knocking down a ton of shots. Great two-man game action right there. Shai and Alex Caruso, kind of your guard-to-guard pick and roll action right there. Something you don't often see. Alex Caruso, we're going to see more of it later. I swear, Paris, this guy's a time traveler or something. He can predict the future. He sees his passes before they happen. I've never seen a player with those kind of anticipation skills.
There's some clairvoyant anticipation out there on the court for Alex Caruso. Incredible stuff. Great minutes also from Brandon Carlson. The Thunder playing without Isaiah Hartenstein, so he saw a lot of minutes in this game and gave the Thunder some good ones.
Yeah, great job by the Thunder just overall tapping into a lot of different players throughout this one. Here's the shot from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. This is that's as wild as, and it's nothing but net too. I'd hold that left hand up for the rest of the night.
I was like, you wouldn't be able to tell me anything for the rest of the game. This brings us to the second quarter. The Thunder put up 35 points in the first, going to follow it up with 35 in the second. The offense was absolutely humming for both teams.
Yeah, for as good as the Hawks were playing offensively and the shots that they were making, the Thunder did a great job of staying attached on the scoreboard. There's a time where OKC goes down 10 in this quarter, but again, that's a late shot clock buzzer beating three from Keaton Wallace. Credit to him. Great shot. That was way behind the 3-point line, but the Hawks made a bunch of those. Man, AJ Mitchell, what a good lob throw. He is so on the money with those lobs.
Yeah, he is continuing to showcase that wide range of skills. And speaking of wide range of skills, how about Chet Holmgren knocking it down from three after throwing down the dunk?
Absolutely. And then here's more transition, semi-transition right there. Rhythm three for Casey Wallace. AJ doing a great job driving downhill, touching the paint, and then kicking out. SGA going downhill and then scoring through contact right there. The Thunder had 70 points in the paint again tonight, Paris, on top of what they did last night or yesterday afternoon.
Well, the Thunder had 42 points in the paint at halftime. Incredible stuff by them. And it's because of moments like this. Great hustle here by Chet and his ability to just regain control and float it back in right after he was on the ground. Incredible stuff.
Absolutely incredible job by Chet right there just to get back up with the ball and score. That's not a travel in the NBA, by the way. That's a travel at other levels, but you can stand up with the ball in the NBA.
Got to know your rules.
Yeah,
and Chet Holmgren, he is a student of the game. And how about the second straight buzzer beater for the Atlanta Hawks? That's just the kind of night they were having. This brings us to the third quarter, and Oklahoma City would open this quarter on an absolute heater. They would start the third quarter with a 28-9 run.
What did Michael Cage say? 30 points in the first 6 minutes?
Basically,
like
yep.
The Thunder were cooking right here, and they just had the full complementary basketball going. The way that they're driving downhill, they were getting stops on the defensive end. You can see it right here. This is a great block by Chet. This is Thunder basketball to a T. Block, defense, fast break, transition three right there, and you could just feel the momentum building as OKC really got cooking early in this third quarter.
I love seeing how many different players get involved offensively for Oklahoma City and how active Chet was around the rim, especially on the glass, picking up those second chance opportunities, and then always ready to throw it down through the hoop. How many dunks is that for Chet tonight?
Chet played great. Again, the Hawks are a little undersized, and Chet just played as the big man all night long, really dominated with his size. Again, this is where the Thunder, it feels like they got the Hawks on the ropes a little bit, and, you can feel it kind of building up, and you think that OKC is about to start putting it away. A pick six right here by Casey Wallace. He pulls this one a little bit back. That's a thumbs up dunk to me right there. I don't know what the bench gave that one.
I think I glanced over at the bench and I saw a lot of thumbs up from everybody over on the Thunder sideline. But the Thunder, by the end of this quarter, are going to put up 43 points, gain their largest lead of the game, and they're going to need that going into the fourth.
Yeah, the floor got spread, and OKC just did a great job of consistently attacking. All those attacks in this third quarter were just so clean and consistent. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, though, you can see here, the score's tightened back up. It's a 7-point game, and then right here, Luke Kennard's going to hit an and-one three. And, I mean, this game is tightened up considerably right here. OKC, though, did a great job, Paris, of closing this third quarter. This was a sneaky big shot from Alex Caruso to come back and respond with that three. That was a big shot that SGA with a clean rip right there and a coast-to-coast. Finished it through contact a little bit. Probably should have got the and-one himself. But OKC took what condensed to a tight score and got it back to 10 going to the fourth.
That brings us to the fourth quarter here, and the Thunder come out strong. They're still knocking down shots. Cason Wallace doing what he does best, knocking down threes as well. But you also have the defensive element here from A.J. Mitchell. How about this effort in the backcourt? Keeping the ball inbounds, finds J-Dub for a time.
I mean, just awesome stuff right there. Just the pressure. This is what we talked about in the pregame show. The Thunder can just wear you down where you make just silly mistakes. But look, I mean, you tip your cap, I guess, to Vik Krejci. I mean, Vik's a great shooter off the run, but that one he didn't expect to go in, I bet. This one I did expect to go in because SGA is absolutely lights out with the step back three.
He's been shooting the ball so well from behind the arc, knocks it down there. The Atlanta Hawks, to their credit, they're going to keep this game within arm's reach. Look at this 5-point game, 4-point game, under 4 minutes. We have now officially entered clutch time. Enter Alex Caruso with some winning plays.
Great execution right there. Another huge shot from AC right when the Thunder needed it. A big response, though, by the Hawks. I mean, this is what they did all night long. When they needed a shot to go in, they hit it. But great process here by the Thunder to get a great rhythm look from Chet from one of his best spots on the court straight away. That's a great shot for OKC coming back and responding. And then a big time play. AC saving this one and getting out in transition. This was a big sequence for OKC, Paris.
Yeah, this one got everybody in Paycom Center up off their feet. A big time steal. Another big time bucket from Cason Wallace in the corner. The crowd absolutely electric in this one. And AC's not done there. He said, we got to put this one in the freezer.
Yeah, reading the future again right there. He just knew what to do with that one. That one was the icing on the cake right there.
Good hands.
Incredible job by the Thunder to close this one out. Second night of a back-to-back. The Thunder did a great job with the energy all game long. This was, Chris Fisher said it. You get these games throughout an NBA season where things get a little loose. Again, the shot variance element of the three-pointer can make what might have actually been a pretty good defensive game look not as good on the defensive end because, I mean, again, we're talking about 9 points just simply from the Hawks that on shots that you just kind of can't believe that they went in, but that's just how it goes sometimes in the NBA. But these are good players. They got good looks. They knocked him down. They did a great job staying close to the Thunder all night long.
And that's why the Thunder hangs their hat on the controllable elements of the game so often every single night. And that's exactly what showed up, especially in that third quarter. The defense, the energy, the steals, the stuff we talked about in the pregame show, Royce, the hustle, the grit, all of that really allowed the Thunder to overcome the incredible shot making that we saw from Atlanta.
And sometimes, I think that that's as much of a mental war as it is anything else.
Great
because
point.
You can sometimes see some of those go in and you just feel like, what am I supposed to do? I credit guys like Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, Cason Wallace. They do such a great job of just kind of being like, total just amnesia on those types of shots. They just kind of tip their cap, go back and start playing the game. You can't, think about those types of things and let that really affect the way that you play the rest of the game. And the Thunder did a great job of that.
Yeah, the Thunder resilient as always and always so even keeled in the face of such hot shot making like we saw against the Atlanta Hawks here tonight. All right, stick with us here on Thunder Live because we've talked about his impact on this game. We got to talk about it a little more. How about AC 16 off the bench? Great stuff. We'll talk more about AC when we come back.